Every time you beg a woman for her attention, you are handing her a shovel and asking her to bury your dignity. And when she is finished, she will never look at you as a man again. This is the brutal truth that most men learn too late. They learn it after sending the third unanswered text, their stomach twisting into knots. They learn it after pleading for a second chance, hearing the pity in her voice. They learn it after abandoning their own values, their own friends, their own mission, just to keep a woman who was already halfway out the door. This act of begging, this constant seeking of validation, is a spiritual poison. It is the confession that your own inner world is empty, and you need her to come in and furnish it. It is the surrender of your masculine frame. But what if you could become immune to this poison? What if you could build an inner fortress so strong that the approval of others becomes irrelevant? What if you could reclaim the quiet, unshakable confidence that is your birthright as a man? The ancient Stoics mastered this art. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus forged a mental operating system for resilience, self-respect, and true power. They understood that a man's strength comes not from what he can get from the world, but from what he can control within himself. Today, we are not just going to talk about dating tips. We are going to reforge your spirit. We are going to arm you with the Stoic secrets that ensure you will stand tall, secure in your own value, and never, ever feel the need to beg again. Respect is the foundation of all attraction. Without it, there can be no desire, no admiration, no love. When you beg, you are taking a sledgehammer to that very foundation. Why is it so destructive? Because begging is a transfer of power. You are telling her non-verbally, you control my emotions. Your response dictates my happiness. My sense of worth is in your hands. This is an immense burden to place on another person. A high-value woman is not looking for a project to fix. She is looking for a partner to stand beside. She wants a man who is already whole. By begging, you prove that you are not. You are a cup with a hole in the bottom, desperately asking her to keep filling you up. It is exhausting, and it is deeply unattractive. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. Begging is a form of self-enslavement. You willingly chain your well-being to the unpredictable moods and validation of another. You give up your freedom. Let's look at how this manifests in the modern world. Modern begging is often subtle, but its message is always the same. The double text, sending another message when the first has gone unanswered. This subcommunicates anxiety and a lack of other options. It says, my attention is fixed on you, and I am getting nervous. Excessive apologies, saying I'm sorry for having a different opinion or for a minor inconvenience. This signals that you are terrified of her disapproval and willing to shrink yourself to please her. Fishing for compliments or reassurance, asking, do you still like me? Or, did you have a good time? This reveals an insecurity that needs her constant validation to be soothed. Buying affection, using gifts, dinners, or favors not as genuine expressions of care, but as a desperate attempt to buy her interest or forgiveness. Each of these acts screams neediness. It tells her that you do not trust in your own inherent value to be enough. A high-value man operates from a place of self-respect. His attention and affection are gifts he chooses to give, not payments for a debt he hopes she will repay. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is perhaps the most important Stoic principle for any man to master. Self-control is the blacksmith's hammer. It is the tool you use to forge your raw, reactive emotions into something strong, purposeful, and resilient. A man without self-control is a slave to his impulses. When he feels a flicker of jealousy, he accuses. When he feels a wave of anxiety, he sends a flood of texts. When he is rejected, his ego shatters, and he either lashes out in anger or crumbles into supplication. He is emotionally volatile and therefore unreliable. A woman can sense this lack of inner governance on a primal level. It makes her feel emotionally unsafe. She knows that a man who cannot control himself cannot be trusted to lead, protect, or provide a stable foundation for a relationship or a family. Self-control is the quiet engine of masculine respect. It is proven not when things are easy, but when they are difficult. Consider the ultimate test. She ends the relationship. The man without self-control is immediately consumed by the event. His reality collapses. He calls her, texts her, emails her. He demands reasons. He makes promises he can't keep. He begs, "Please, don't do this. I'll do anything." He has given the outside event complete power over his mind. The Stoic man, guided by Aurelius, experiences the pain of the loss. He is not a robot, but he understands that her decision is an external event outside the realm of his control. The only thing he can control is his response. He lets the wave of emotion wash over him, but he does not become the wave. He pauses. He breathes. He chooses dignity. His response is calm and final. "I am sorry to hear that, but I respect your decision. I wish you the best." He does not argue. He does not negotiate his worth. He accepts reality with grace. In that moment of profound loss, he demonstrates ultimate strength. He shows her, and more importantly, himself, that his soul is his own. It is not for sale. It cannot be broken by the actions of another. This self-mastery is the essence of a high-value man. In our culture, we are taught that passionate, all-consuming attachment is the pinnacle of romance. But the Stoics knew that true power lies not in attachment, but in a state of rational detachment. This does not mean being cold, aloof, or uncaring. Stoic detachment is the wisdom to invest your emotions fully in what you can control, your own character and actions, while maintaining a calm indifference to outcomes you cannot. Men often make the mistake of believing that the more available, more eager, and more invested they appear, the more a woman will value them. In reality, this often triggers the opposite effect. Desperation suffocates attraction. It communicates neediness, not strength. A woman is deeply attracted to a man who wants her, but does not need her for his happiness or sense of self. This is where the Stoic dichotomy of control becomes your greatest asset. It is a simple but life-altering mental filter. For any situation, ask yourself, is this in my control or not in my control? Her mood today, not in your control. Whether she texts you back, not in your control. Her past experiences and current level of interest, not in your control. Your own integrity, your discipline, your response, completely in your control. Let's apply this. She suddenly grows distant and ignores a text message. The attached man immediately makes it about himself. He panics. His inner monologue is, "What did I do wrong? Is she losing interest? I need to fix this." He might send a follow-up text trying to be funny, or worse, one asking if she's okay. He is desperately trying to control something he cannot, her engagement. The detached, stoic man notices her silence, but does not allow it to disrupt his inner peace. He runs it through the filter. Her response is not in my control. My own actions are. So, what does he do? He directs his focus back to his own life. He works on his business plan. He goes to the gym and sets a new personal record. He reads a book. He is not playing a game of pretending to be busy. He genuinely has a life and a purpose that are more important than waiting for a text message. This calm self-sufficiency is incredibly attractive. It creates space, communicates high value, and demonstrates that his happiness is generated from within. The ability to walk away from a situation that does not serve you is one of the most powerful negotiation tools a man possesses. Begging is the act of communicating you have no other options. Walking away with dignity screams that you are the option. Epictetus provided the perfect mantra for this. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Being disrespected, being put on the back burner, being treated poorly, these are things that may happen. The reaction of a low-value man is to cling tighter, to try and convince the other person of his worth. The reaction of a high-value man is to calmly remove his presence. Walking away is not a tantrum. It is not an ultimatum shouted in anger. It is a quiet, firm, and decisive act of self-respect. It is the ultimate enforcement of your personal standards. It sends a message far more powerful than any words could. I value my peace and my dignity more than I value your presence in my life. Consider a man who stays in a relationship where he is consistently disrespected. He complains, he argues, but he never leaves. His actions teach the woman that his words are meaningless. He has no real boundaries. He is, in effect, begging her to treat him better. Now consider the man who communicates his boundary clearly and calmly. If it is crossed again, he leaves. He doesn't make a scene. He simply exits. His absence creates a sudden and shocking vacuum. It forces her to confront the true value of what she has lost. His actions prove that his self-respect is non-negotiable. This is why walking away is so magnetic. It demonstrates: Number 1. Abundance. You believe in your ability to find happiness and connection elsewhere or simply within yourself. Number 2. High standards. You refuse to settle for mediocrity or disrespect. Number 3. Self-reliance. Your emotional well-being does not depend on fixing a broken situation. The next time you are faced with unacceptable behavior, do not lower yourself to begging for a change. Raise your standards and be prepared to walk. The respect you gain from yourself will be worth more than anything you could have gained by staying. All the strategies we've discussed, self-control, detachment, the willingness to walk away, are born from one source, a deep well of inner value. The ultimate way to ensure you never beg is to build a life so rich, so purposeful, and so fulfilling that a woman's validation is simply a bonus, not the main prize. The Stoics called the ultimate goal eudaimonia, which can be translated as human flourishing or living a life of virtue. They believed that true happiness comes from striving for excellence in one's own character, not from acquiring external things like wealth, fame, or even the love of another. A high-value man understands this intuitively. His life is not a waiting room for a relationship to begin. His life is the main event. He is on a mission. A woman is a welcome co-pilot, but she is not the destination. How do you build this inner kingdom? By focusing your energy on the 4 pillars of masculine growth. Number 1. The pillar of the body, discipline. Your body is the physical vessel of your will. Treat it with respect. Engage in rigorous physical training. Eat clean. Prioritize sleep. The discipline you forge in the gym will bleed into every other area of your life. Number 2, the pillar of the mind, wisdom. Stop consuming mindless content. Start creating and learning. Read the great thinkers. Learn a high-value skill coding, a language, a trade. Become an expert in something. A man with a well-honed mind is a man of substance. Number 3, the pillar of purpose, mission. What are you building? What problem are you solving? What is the legacy you want to leave? This could be a business, a creative work, or service to your community. A man driven by purpose does not have the time or inclination to chase. He is too busy building. Number 4, the pillar of provision, self-reliance. Strive for financial sovereignty. Learn to manage and grow your resources. A man who can provide for himself and has his finances in order operates from a position of immense strength and freedom. When you are deeply engaged in building these 4 pillars, the thought of begging for a woman as attention will seem absurd, a profound waste of the energy you need to build your empire. In the dynamics between men and women, a man's emotional composure will inevitably be tested. A woman needs to know if the man she is with is a solid rock or a pile of shifting sand. She will, consciously or unconsciously, probe his emotional strength to discover his true nature. These tests can come in many forms: a sarcastic remark, a canceled date, a moment of emotional distance, or a challenge to his authority. A man who is not grounded in Stoic principles will fail these tests catastrophically. He will become defensive, angry, anxious, or needy. He will react, revealing that his emotional state is a puppet, and she is holding the strings. Each reactive failure lowers her respect for him. The Stoic man is the bridge. He is unshakable. He embodies the wisdom of Seneca, who taught in his essay on anger that anger is a brief madness that stems from a fragile ego. A truly confident man cannot be insulted because he knows his own worth. When faced with a test, the Stoic does not react. He responds with composed mastery. If she makes a playful jab at his expense, he doesn't get defensive. He might meet it with a calm, amused smirk, showing that her words are pebbles thrown against a fortress wall. If she is suddenly moody or distant, he does not become an emotional detective trying to solve the case. He gives her space and remains centered in his own positive frame. If she challenges his decision, he does not become dictatorial or argumentative. He listens, considers, and then calmly holds his ground if he believes he is right. He shows her through his actions that his inner peace is self-generated and not for sale. He is the calm eye of the hurricane. This unshakable emotional stability is one of the most powerful and attractive qualities a man can possess. It signals to her on the deepest biological level that he is a safe, reliable, and powerful leader. We have journeyed through the philosophy. Now, let us carve these principles into a simple, actionable blueprint, a code of conduct for the modern man who chooses to live with honor and strength. This is the Stoic blueprint. Live by this code, and begging will become a foreign language to you. First, govern thyself. Master your impulses before you attempt to master anything else. Your daily disciplines, the cold shower, the workout, the difficult task, are the training ground for your will. A man who cannot say no to his own weaknesses will always be begging for the world to say yes to him. Second, know thy domain. Etch the dichotomy of control onto your mind. Relentlessly focus your energy on your own thoughts, your own actions, and your own character. Release your emotional grip on everything else. This is the source of all tranquility and power. Third, value thy dignity. Your self-respect is your most precious asset. Define your boundaries. Know what you will and will not tolerate. Be prepared to walk away from anyone or anything that requires you to compromise your core values. Your dignity is your throne. Never let anyone else sit on it. Fourth, build thy kingdom. Dedicate your life to a mission. Your purpose is your true north. It is the source of your drive, your passion, and your value. A man building his kingdom doesn't have time to be the jester in someone else's court. This blueprint is not a list of tactics. It is a design for a way of being. It is the architecture of a man who is so internally validated, so grounded in his own purpose, that his presence becomes a force of nature. He does not chase. He attracts. We began with a warning. Begging a woman is an act of self-destruction. We end with a blueprint for self-creation. The Stoic path is not the easy path. It requires discipline, awareness, and courage. But it is the only path to true freedom and unshakable self-respect. Let's review the secrets we have unearthed. Respect your own dignity as sacred. Master your emotional responses through self-control. Embrace detachment from outcomes you cannot influence. Understand the immense power of walking away. Build your life around a noble purpose. The world will constantly try to convince you that you are incomplete, that you need a certain person, a certain status, a certain outcome to be whole. The Stoics teach us the radical truth. You are already whole. The kingdom you are searching for is within you. Remember this and let it sink into your very bones. High-value men never beg women, because everything they need is already within themselves. I will leave you with the powerful words of Epictetus, a command for your life starting now. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Decide who you are. Then go and become him.